Mark Manson wrote this book, okay? The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And I originally thought I was gonna love this book, I was gonna like it was gonna be my baby, I'm gonna recommend it. But in reality, it's one of the worst books I ever read, Mark Manson. You did a terrible job here. And in reality, guys, I'm just kidding, okay? By far, this is one of my favorite books, and I just recently finished reading it. And this week, I actually read 3 books. And this is one of my favorite ones of this week and probably my top 3 of all time. So in this book review video, we're actually going to talk about the 3 main ideas of this book. So by the end of this video, you probably won't even need to read the book, but I do have a free way so you can actually get the book, read it without having to pay any money. So stick around to that till the end. Now guys, if you don't know me, my name is TommyBryson. I'm an accountant, and I'm one of the only people on YouTube that posts videos every single day, and there's a book review every single week, and I post videos literally every single day. Like no one else does that. So make sure you subscribe and hit the like button while you're at it because it helps the channel out a ton, and also hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new book review video or making more money, credit cards, whatever it is that benefits you, I'm uploading a video about it. Now, I want to ask you guys one question. Let me know, what do you guys think about self-help book? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Comment down below and let me know. Now that you commented, I do want to jump in straight into the book review, but before we do that, I do want to go over what this book is and what this book is not. Now, Mark Manson made sure to create a book, self-help really, but that's not really self-help in a way. Why? Because every single self-help book out there just tells you like, hey, look in the mirror, think you're a tiger, be super positive all the time, don't ever be negative, don't do anything like that, just stay motivated 100% of the time and you'll be good. Like, oh, just surround yourself with people, just say yes to everything. And listen guys, he shuts down every single thing that I thought was okay. And I kind of ignored it myself, you know, because obviously it's not realistic, but he shut it down and he provided evidence to why it doesn't work. So this book is actually a very refreshing self-help book that's not with all the mumbo jumbo of Eye of the Tiger, oh, read this book and then you're going to magically just have everything you want in life, oh, buy my new course. It's like, it's not that at all. It's very refreshing and I really enjoyed it. So comment down below and let me know which self-help book out there is your favorite, and let me know which book do you want me to read next. By the way guys, I have a top 3 self-help books out there, and to be honest, they all start with the letter F. It's On F Yourself, and it's also The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, and also The Millionaire Mind. It's kind of different and it's in no order whatsoever, but I really love this book. So if you want to get started, start with those books. They're very good books to actually build a solid foundation. Now, I do want to jump in straight into the top 3 main parts of this entire book, and here they are. So number 1, guys, in the title of the book, it obviously says The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. And you might interpret that as saying like, hey, maybe this book is about not caring about anything. Maybe this book is about this, maybe this book is about that. And in reality, here's what I learned. Everyone out there cares about something, and choosing not to care about something or anything is still choosing to care about not caring, which is insane, right? And there's way too many people out there that care about everything, and that's not healthy. And this book is not about like, oh, don't care about anything, but in reality, it's a book about caring more, but about the things that really matter to your life. And I'm gonna make sure to explain that because when I first read it, I didn't quite understand it either. So here's an example just to explain exactly what I mean by, hey, it's not about not caring, but it's actually about caring about the right things. Now, me personally, guys, I've always cared a ton about what people think. Well, not currently, not anymore, obviously, you know, but I used to care so much about what people thought, especially people that I thought I cared about a ton. So for example, I remember being in high school. Yeah, high school. I was around like 17 because I graduated early. And I remember being in high school and my counselor told me, well, I told my counselor like, hey, I want to go to college. I want to get like an accounting degree. Yes, but I also want to be super rich. I want to be wealthy, and I'm going to find a way to achieve that. And I laid out like a semi terrible plan to him. And he told me, you know, Tommy, you're going to be like everyone else and you're not going to accomplish anything, you know? And I thought to myself, wow, that's harsh. And I didn't show it whatsoever, but really, that really dented my ego, you know? It kind of hit me really hard, especially when someone that you really care about doesn't really support you and what you actually believe in. Eventually, guys, people don't really believe in thoughts. They believe in actions and proof, and that's something that I actually learned. And eventually, I showed him so much action that he was like, oh my gosh, you might actually get there. Who knew, you know? But people are tired of hearing like, oh my gosh, you're going to accomplish, you're going to accomplish that. But that's not what I really want to talk about here. Here's what I do want to talk about. If you care way too much about how people feel about you, how people interpret you, what people are thinking constantly, how your boss is treating you, how everyone is like all up on you, like you're gonna have a very miserable life because your life is dependent on external sources instead of internal sources with yourself. And what this made me realize the most, guys, is that I'm not responsible for how anyone thinks about me, how anyone sees me, how anyone thinks. Like, I'm not responsible for any of that. But I am responsible for how I interpret that, how I react to those things. Like, for example, if you walk up to me in the street and tell me, Tommy, you suck, I hate your videos. Like, okay, I can't help you with that. If you don't like them, you don't like them. But I'm in charge of how I react to that. I can say like, oh my gosh, F you, I hate you. What do you mean you don't like me in videos, Or I could just say like, hey bro, I'm sorry. I'll try better. If you have any ideas, just let me know. And that's how I react. It's all about controlling yourself and choosing what to care about and what not to care about. And it's all about taking responsibility on how you react to things and what you actually care about. And this is actually a great segue because the second most important part in this book is actually you're responsible for everything that goes on in your life. And you might say, Tommy, obviously, but in reality, as soon as I start explaining this, you might say, wow, maybe I thought I wasn't responsible for that. Maybe I was wrong when I said that or when I didn't do that because I thought that, hey, I'm not responsible for that. But in reality, you're responsible for everything that's going on in your life, good, bad, whatever it is, you're responsible for it. And me personally, guys, I always thought that I had everything figured out. I always thought that, hey, I know what I want, I'm responsible for everything, and I'm responsible for my destiny. But the more I started figuring things out and actually looking at myself and at my life, I actually realized that maybe I don't really know what I want. Maybe I don't really think about anything that much, honestly. And I realized something. I put responsibility on other people's shoulders about my life, my career, my love life, every single aspect, even my happiness. I put it in other people's hands and I never feel responsible over it because, hey, it's in their hands, so I'm not really responsible for it. Imagine this, right? I remember wanting to do YouTube so much. This was like 3 years ago, and I did YouTube consistently. Back to back, back to back, back to back, every single day. And I did it wrong, I did it like my own way because I thought it was so special. But here's the thing. I finally figured out, and I used to blame myself all the time. I used to be like, oh my gosh, it's not my fault. I'm posting the content. People just don't like it. They don't understand it. The YouTube algorithm is terrible. Like, all these external factors. But the moment I said, by the way, that wasn't doing anything for me. Obviously, I wasn't getting more views. I wasn't getting any more subscribers. I wasn't getting anything because no one likes a victim. Being a victim is like the worst thing in the world because you're just a victim and you're vulnerable and it doesn't make any sense. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you're not responsible. Like, you might get robbed and that's not your responsibility, of course, but you're still responsible on how you choose to actually react to that situation. And here's my thing. The moment I started saying to myself, you know what, I'm responsible for everything that goes on in my life, is the moment I empowered myself to do what I want whenever I want to do it. No longer did I want to go to college or get a master's or a PhD. By the way, I came this close to getting a master's and a PhD. Like, this close, guys. And no longer was like, oh my gosh, I need to get this degree from this college and do all this stuff, like external factors. It came from me to the point where I was like, okay, I want to achieve this. I'm going to do that myself, and I'm going to do it myself. I'm responsible for this. I'm responsible for everything that goes on. And I no longer felt like, oh my gosh, my mom is responsible for my happiness. My girlfriend makes me happy. Like, it stopped being about that, and it became more about, like, I make myself happy. I make my decisions and I choose where I want to go in life. And you might say, Tommy, I get that 100%, but you might be at work and you might be telling yourself like, oh my gosh, I just came from work. I hate my boss. I don't like him at all. He's responsible for this. I'm having a bad day. Joshua or Jessica did a terrible job today. They put all the blame on me. Like, that's great, but you're the one that's choosing how to react to that situation, and you're the one that's empowering other people to control your life. And that's why I really like this book, because it taught you, well, it taught me, obviously, right, because you haven't read the book yet, but it taught me that, hey, you're responsible for everything that goes on in your life, positive, negative, like surprise circumstances, everything, you're responsible for it. And honestly, it's a much better attitude than just being like, oh, can't help it. What am I going to do? I got fired. The market is down. Like, oh, the real estate is just not going well. That's a terrible attitude. And I'd 10 times rather be responsible and choose my reaction to everything than just like put my 2 hands in my pocket and just be like, okay, can't do anything about it. Sorry. And number 3, guys, by far, this is one of my favorite parts. And let me pause the timer here because it's very important. And here's the thing, guys. I always thought, by the way, number 3 is happiness is an activity. It's not an emotion, okay? And I never understood this until I read this book. And I honestly, I never thought about it. I was just, okay, I'm happy right now. I'm feeling good. I'm with my girlfriend, I'm with my mom. Like, okay, great, I'm with my friends. I'm having a fun time. Like, that's what happiness is, right? And in reality, it's not. And here's my thing. In the book, Mark Manson actually says, Tommy, Happiness isn't an emotion, it's an activity. And when I read that, I said, what the heck is this guy talking about? Happiness is not an activity, it's an emotion. Everyone knows this. But in reality, he told me this, happiness is the action of solving the problems you want to solve on a daily basis. And that's what empowerment, freedom actually is. And that's how you actually get happiness. And I said, no way, that's not true. And then I looked at my life and I said, like, okay, maybe he is right. Because in reality, social media, everything around us paints happiness as if it's like, oh, you have to be traveling, you have to be doing this. That's what happiness is. But in reality, happiness comes from doing an activity and solving problems you actually want to solve. So for example, I make videos on YouTube every single day. And originally 4 years ago, guys, I would have given anything to be in the spot right now, making the money that I'm making right now, making the videos I'm making right now, and just being as free as I am right now. And now that I'm here, back then I thought that, hey, when I'm there, I'm going to be so much happier. Everything's going to be so much different. But now that I'm here, I see that, hey, I had problems then and I have problems now, okay? The only thing that's happened is that the problems I had back then were problems that I didn't want to solve, and the problems I have now are problems that I do want to solve. Like, for example, how do I post a video every day? How do I learn something new every day? Back then it was like, okay, how do I do this work for my boss? How do I do this for my boss? How do I get these grades for my teachers? How do I get this for my mom? How do I get this degree for my mom? How do I do all this stuff? But now it's more about me. And I'm telling you guys, this is like kind of like a selfish thing, but it's true, Now it's more about me in the sense that, hey, I want to spend my life solving the problems that I want to solve. Whether it's going to the gym every day, talking to my girlfriend every day, having a great relationship, posting my videos every day, learning new things. Like, it's all about choosing what you want to solve and solving those problems every single day. And that activity, that active activity, is what's going to give you happiness. And as a bonus, I do want to say this, okay? My last thing that I really love about this book is that, hey, life is not about feeling like doing something, but it's more about choosing to do something and then getting the feeling right after. I remember I had this entire quote on my desk written 24/7, and it said this: action first, emotion later. Because consistently, guys, I didn't start my YouTube channel because I said, like, hey, I just don't feel like it, And I didn't post videos every day because I said, hey, I just don't feel like it. But now I say action first, emotion later, because every time I turn on the camera, I might not feel like making a video. I'm going to be honest. But when I turn on the camera and I start talking and I start teaching and I start learning new things, that's when I say, like, hey, that's where the emotion comes from. That's where I get it. So my point is this, guys: action first, emotion later. And that's what I really like about this book. It taught me a lot of things. So let me know in the comments down below, so far, what do you think about the 3 main nuggets? Do you already know all these things? Do you not know all these things? And by the way, one of the most important things ever in the world is actually understanding that you know nothing. And Aristotle said that. One of the most smartest people in the world that ever lived, okay? Aristotle said, listen, once you understand that you know nothing is when you can actually begin to learn things. Because if you think you know everything, you're not going to ever learn anything. So in its totality, guys, comment down below and let me know, what do you think about those 3 main factors of this book? Do you like him? Do you not like him? Let me know in the comments down below. And here's my thing, guys. Do I recommend this book? Do I not recommend it? And the answer is, I love this book. It's a great book and it's going to teach you a lot. And it's a very refreshing book compared to everything else. Tommy, I don't have the money. I don't have the time. Well, if you never make time, you're never going to get anything you want in life. And if you don't have the money, I have a link down below for Audible, so you can actually get this book for free, and you get 1 month to read the entire book. And by the way, you actually get 2 books. So remember when I told you my top 3 books? You can actually get one of those books also and read both of those books. And if you don't have the money and you can't pay $15 a month, just cancel before the month is over, and you get to keep the books no matter what, because Amazon does a great job at customer service. So don't worry about that. On top of that, guys, comment down below and let me know, what do you think about this book? Are you gonna get it? Are you not gonna get it? And comment down below any more ideas for future book reviews. And guys, as always, thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, leave a big thumbs up, because every time you guys like the videos, 1, it shows me like, hey, they like the videos, I'm gonna keep doing them. 2, it helps the YouTube algorithm, so it keeps spreading the videos around, and we keep growing, and we have been growing a lot lately. As always, guys, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one, just DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson. And on top of that, if you want to support the channel and you got some cash on you and you want one of these t-shirts, just click the link down below and you can actually get one of these t-shirts. And hey, they're pretty cool. I wear them every day. Well, I wear 10 of them every single day. I have more than one, okay? I haven't worn the same t-shirt for 2 months, okay? That's kind of weird. I'll see you guys next time in the next video. Thanks for watching, and peace. You've got to start at the bottom if you're ever gonna reach the top.